Start recording. Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Noah. I'm one of the educators with Shortcut Software, and this is our Tuesday classroom sessions. So if you've attended previously, we cover a basic aspect of shortcuts. In this case, we've been doing several weeks, so now we're moving into a few more advanced lessons for how to use the point of sale system. Now, if you've not used shortcuts in a while, or if you're new to shortcuts and you're trying to get caught up, we do record all of these videos, and we're recording right now, and we make them available on our Shortcuts webpage as well as our YouTube channel. So if you go to Shortcuts North America, I believe it's Shortcuts USA, in YouTube, you'll find all of our previous classroom sessions. So the focus of today is the point of sale, and specifically a few advanced things to do in the point of sale. So whether you're a salon, a spa, or a barbershop, these are some things that you should know about for your business. So let's get going. And as with our other presentations, we always have the first things first. So we are recording. It's going to be about a half hour, and my microphone is on. Everybody else has been muted. But if you have questions, we do have the questions window. We do have the chat window in GoToWebinar, so you can ask your questions there. We will have some time at the end, so you can ask any questions for anything that we've reviewed, or if you have a question on something on the side, let me know. So let's begin. So, point of sale. In the basics classroom, we talked about checking customers in, checking customers out, making sure that you have the ability to sell products or sell services, or make sure that the staff gets credit for their sales, things like that. This time, we're going to look at other things you can do in point of sale. Now, if your business goes through professional products, whether it's color, whether it's chemical, whatever it is, we want to make sure that you're tracking it so that your inventory levels are correct. So we're going to show you how to track professional products. If you've always thought about selling gift certificates, this sort of builds onto a previous classroom session where we talked about the differences between gift certificates, gift cards, and even online gift cards. So gift certificates are built into shortcuts by default. It doesn't matter which version of shortcuts you have, whether you have walk-in manager, whether you have the full point of sale or the spa feature, every shortcuts user actually has the ability to sell and track gift certificates. If you have a busy front desk and sometimes you have to take petty cash out of the register, perhaps to do a coffee run or to pay a window washer, we want to make sure that you're tracking that correctly so that when you run an end of day, that everything is accounted for. So even how to work with petty cash. And of course, the big one. If you're going to have customers with accounts where they can leave a deposit, or if they're a regular customer and for whatever reason they forget their wallet or they forget their purse at home, but you know the customer and you say, okay, well, we'll put the money in the account, and the next time you come in, you can pay the difference. So how to take a deposit for your business and how to have money in the account. We're going to cover that as well. So let's start with the very first one. How do you track Backbar? So hopefully you have been keeping track of all of your retail as well as your professional. If you haven't, it's very easy to do so in shortcuts. And I'm going to show you. So in the point of sale, in the new build of shortcuts, shortcuts 8.1, and that's the version that I always use for these demonstrations, on the pull down menu in the point of sale, you have a new option, hashtag business. So you would actually select that, and the employee that gets credit for the sale will also be business. So business is your customer, business is your employee. When you tell shortcuts these two things, then any products you select, whether they're retail or whether they're professional, will be marked as something that's a staff use. That was a business expense, a professional expense. So when you run your reports, you'll know exactly what you used, and you'll also have an accurate inventory count. So I'm going to show you in a live demonstration what does that look like, and how do you set your inventory to actually have professional products if you've only been using retail up until now. And then we're going to talk about selling gift certificates. So before we do gift certificates, let's actually talk about Backbar. So I'm going to get out of the presentation. So in shortcuts, Normally, in the point of sale, you would, of course, check out services and products. But what we would advise is to keep any empties that you have that your staff went through, whether it was a bottle of conditioner or a tube of color. Once it is completely empty, you want to make sure that you're accounting for that. So from this window, we would say, as part of your end of day process, after you've checked out all of your customers, you want to use the pull down menu and choose hashtag business. Now, on my test database, I have to do a start of day. I was wondering, did I do a start of day this morning? Let's start my session. I think usually I have 150. Shortcuts is going to tell me I'm wrong if I guess incorrectly. Yeah, it's not right. So let's cancel. Okay, I think it's 200. Nope. All right, well, that will be my starting float. Okay, so if I had an empty color tube or a bottle of conditioner, whatever it is, I would go to hashtag business on my pull down menu. And if I had a barcode scanner, I could scan in the products and Shortcuts will add it. Or in this case, I could manually search for it. Now, I will say business is getting credit for this, and I will choose the items that I went through. So one of these, one of these, one of these, and one of these, and maybe one of these. Now, whether they had a price on them or not, and I'll choose something that actually does have a price, and the sound of a jet flying overhead. There we go. So color vitality is normally $40, but the staff finished it. So I'll choose it. So I've selected several products. And when I press done, you'll notice something in the point of sale that's a little different than a regular retail sale. Every item has actually been marked $0 because Shortcuts recognizes you're not buying these products, you're deducting them from inventory, so the cost is actually zero. But once I end my sale, then Shortcuts will take one of each of those bottles out of my inventory. And if I want, I can, of course, print a receipt for myself. So if you haven't been doing this, start to make it part of your end of day process. You'll go to hashtag business. Business is your employee. Business is your customer. And just scan out those products. Now, in your inventory, of course, I don't have a receipt printer connected, so I don't have an actual way of printing my receipt. But now you'll see all of the products have been deducted. So in your actual inventory screen, if you have not been marking certain products as Backbar only, how do you track that? Under the inventory button, I should say, you're going to go to products. So most of you have your retail enabled here. And notice I am not making the distinction between professional products or retail products. I'm just telling Shortcuts, show me all products. So as you're going through your lines, if you have an entire line that's Backbar only, then you want to make sure that you have the ability to enable professional. If you notice on the right side of my screen, I actually have a column that says retail or professional. If you do not see this window in Shortcuts, you can enable it. All you have to do is at the very top of your column headers, wherever it says any of the titles, such as current, maximum, minimum, if you right-click on your column header, you're going to go to Properties, and you're going to enable the column that says Retail. When you do this, you'll now have access to this fourth column. So this actually allows you to mark certain products as professional only. Anything marked as professional does not show up in the point of sale when a customer is checking out. So there's no chance that they're accidentally going to get some developer or something they're not supposed to have. Also, your barcodes still work. So if you have something marked as professional, you have your barcode, you could just scan it in when you're checking out to business. So do or start tracking it this way if you haven't been doing it previously. Enable your column, mark your items as professional, and check them out at the end of day. Now, if you happen to have something that serves two purposes, perhaps you do have like a liter bottle that the staff uses as well as that you sell, in that case, leave it marked as retail. Don't mark it as professional. And that way it'll be able to be used for both purposes. So now let's go back to PowerPoint. So that is how you track your backbar. Now let's talk about gift certificates. So if you've been thinking about selling gift certificates, or if you used to sell gift certificates and you forgot the steps, just follow along. So Shortcuts does have gift certificates by default. Doesn't matter which version of Shortcuts you have. If you have the old version 7 or the new version 8.1, these steps are still the same. So in the point of sale, you could select Sundry or Gift Card. Both will take you to a similar screen. Now, remember, Sundry is any income for your business that's not necessarily a product or a service. So a gift card, a gift certificate is a perfect example of a sundry. But other types of sundries can be things like a booth renter or a chair renter. So if you have a lot of space, you have maybe one or two booth renters, and you want to track it in your business, that is a sundry you can mark and track. So in this case, we're going to choose gift certificate or gift card. Once you choose it, you can put a value on there. So you can sell a gift certificate that's worth $50 or $100 or whatever it is. When you sell it, Shortcuts does have the ability to track it, because after you accept payment for that, whether the customer pays cash or they pay credit, Shortcuts will ask you, what was the barcode? What was the tracking number on this gift certificate? Also, if you are buying multiple values, so let's say a customer comes in around the holidays, they want to buy a $50 gift certificate, a $100 gift certificate, a $200 gift certificate. This is why you have multiple open values. So you can tell Shortcuts, open value is 50, open value A is 100, and open value B is 200. So you'll mark the values, and then Shortcuts will ask you, okay, what was the barcode, what was the tracking number on each gift certificate after you press finish sale? So now that we've discussed it, let's actually see that in real time. How does it show up? And then once you sell the gift certificates, how does the customer actually use it in the point of sale? So let's jump out for a moment and let's go into Shortcuts. So the first thing we're going to do is configure gift certificates. So if you've used them before or if you've never used them, follow along. These are the steps. The first thing you want to do is make sure your business is enabled to sell them. So we're going to go to Setup, Configuration. And on the left side of the screen, you'll notice we're on the Sales tab. Under Sales, there is a Payments type option. So if you hadn't been selling gift certificates previously, on your pull-down list, you may not necessarily see gift certificate. What I want you to do, if you don't see that, I want you to click the checkbox that says Display Inactive. Once you do that, then gift certificates are going to be on the list, along with a bunch of other payment types. But I just want you to choose gift certificate, and then on the right side, make sure it is set to active. Once you do that, now Shortcut says, okay, I want you to sell and track these. So once I press save, then under General, I want to make sure that my gift certificate options are in Shortcuts. So I will go under the General tab on the left, and I will go to Sundry. So we'll scroll down a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. Under the Sales tab, the General is another option. Under the Sales tab, I go to Sundry Name, and I check to see what sundries I have. Like if I was adding booth renter, chair renter, this is where I would add those. 2 buttons down from there are our gift certificate options. And again, by default, all of the Shortcuts customers have gift certificates, open value A and B. those should be by default in all of our systems, whether you're in the US, whether you're in Canada, whether you're a barber, whether you're a spa. These are all available. If you do not see these, they might have been made inactive. So again, on this window, on the top right, you're going to say, show me inactive. And you'll go through the list, and if you find the open values, choose those, and then tell Shortcuts, make these active again. I want to start using them. Also, you'll notice all of the gift certificates say requires tracking number. So I want to make sure I have requires tracking number turned on. Oh, now Shortcuts did not like me enabling and disabling and trying to change gift certificates in a live environment. So I'll restart it. Apologies for that. Oh, somebody has a question. So while Shortcuts is starting up again, somebody is asking, I get requests to donate gift certificates for fundraisers in my town. How do I show gift cards as a donation? Excellent question, Lynn. Let's actually talk about that. So when a customer or an organization or a school or whatever the case is wants to get a gift certificate, you can track it, and this is the best way. So after you set up your gift certificates, if they weren't set up previously, if you're thinking about a donation, you can go to Configuration, again under Setup, and on the left side, we're going to Discounts. So we've already set our sundries, we've set our gift certificates. So in this case, we have a couple of default, but let's actually create one specifically for donations. So I'm going to press New. I'm going to give it a name. So I'll say donation/charity. So this looks really good for tax purposes. So I've created a name, but I need to tell Shortcuts, what type of discount is this? In this case, I'm going to say it's 100% off. But it's not necessarily 100% on products or services. So in the middle of the screen, I will uncheck products and I will uncheck services and series. Instead, I will make sure that this is marked for sundry and gift certificates only. And then I will save this. So I've created a custom discount that I just want to use for donations, gift certificates. So now we're actually going to talk about selling those gift certificates and redeeming them. So for our regular customers, a customer comes in, they want to buy a gift certificate. Maybe they want to buy 2 gift certificates. So I'll go directly to the point of sale. And whether it's an existing customer or just a walk-in customer, I'll say I had a retail customer. Somebody just walks in, they want to buy some gift certificates. So I'll click one of the blank rows. Now, my system thinks they're trying to buy a product, but at the bottom of the screen, I have the option for sundry. So Shortcut says, okay, they're buying something else. What are they getting? In this case, they're going to get one of my gift certificates. Now, if they're just going to buy one gift certificate, technically, it doesn't matter which one of these open values I choose. But as soon as the customer says, okay, I'd like a $50 gift certificate and I'd like a $100 gift certificate, then I want to choose 2 different open values. So in this case, the customer wants a 50 and a 100. So I'll select both of those and then press Done. So Shortcut says, okay, I have one open value. How much is on there? The customer wants 50. What about the other one? Open value A. The customer wants 100. So just like that, I've selected 2 different gift certificates worth 2 different amounts. Now if the customer says, well, actually I'd like 2 gift certificates worth $50 and 1 gift certificate worth 100. So in the middle column, where it says quantity, I can just press the plus button and change it to 2. Or I could click the number 2 and just type it in. Either way works. So the customer is going to, in this case, give me cash, 200 in cash, and then I'll finish the sale. Now, when I finish the sale, up until now, this transaction is just like any other transaction you've ever had. The exception is when I press finish sale, Shortcuts is going to ask me what was the tracking number or what was the barcode on the back of that gift certificate. So in this case, I have a sequence of gift certificates. So I went to my local printer. I got these little business card size gift certificates, and I told them, give me 200 with a barcode on the back that's sequential. So that's exactly what my print shop did. And this was the next in line on that series. It ends in 836. So I'll say this is the first $50 gift certificate. What about the next one? Shortcuts is actually going to guess it ends with 837. And I'll say that's correct. So then Shortcut says, okay, your $100 gift certificate, does that end in 838? I can confirm it or I can scan a new number. So I'll say, nope, I'm just going right out of the box in sequential order. So I've confirmed those. And now Shortcuts remembers that there's certificates out there with a certain number on them and a certain value. So when a customer comes back, and we'll go through this step, let's say one of my customers today, Lana here, or Wally, I should say. Wally's ready to check out. So as Wally is checking out, and I'll say no further details. So he actually has one of the gift certificates. So down on the bottom right, I have the payment option, gift/loyalty. So this captures gift cards, gift certificates, online gift cards, or loyalty points. So I'm going to choose that, and these are all the cards I've sold previously. I do have the ability to search, whether I manually type in the number or I use my barcode scanner, or I can see on my list which one does he have. He actually has the one that ends in 836. So that was a $50 gift certificate, and his remaining balance is $15.68. So that will stay on the gift certificate until he uses the entire value. So I'll press done, and I will finish sale. Does Wally want a receipt? I'll say no receipt for now. So that is how you sell and how you redeem a gift certificate. Now, in the event that you have a charity, a school, or somebody is asking for a donation, in this case, you would create a new sale. Now, you could, of course, sell it to just a walk-in client or a retail client, but for my purposes, I like to have a record of this. So I'll go new sale, and I'll create a new client. In this case, this client is the YMCA, and I'll say of Los Cerritos. And then I'll put in whatever my contact number is for the YMCA, and of course the email. So this could be a school, it could be an organization, whatever it is. So this is my client. So in the point of sale, again, I'll click a blank row. I'll say the business is selling something in this case. I can choose sundry or I can choose gift card. Both of those buttons will take me to the same screen. So I'll choose gift certificate open value. So let's say I'm donating a $50 card to the local Y. So normally, Shortcuts expects the customer to pay for this. In this case, I'm going to go discount on my list of discounts here. And Shortcuts is going to ask me which one. In this case, donation/charity. Because Shortcuts does have a report that will show you what types of discounts were used, who were the customers that received them. So you can always tell Shortcuts to run the report on all the donation/charity ones that you did for the year 2020, the year 2021, and of course give that to your tax person so that you have an exact count of who got what certificates and how much they used. So I'll choose donation/charity. I will finish the sale. Shortcuts will still ask me, what was the tracking number on this gift certificate I just gave them? It ends in 839. Do they want a copy of their receipt? They probably do. And I would email it to them or print it. But I'll say no receipt for now. So that is how you sell a receipt sell a gift certificate certificate to a regular customer or for donation? I hope that answers that question, Len. Let's go back to the presentation. So we just talked about using gift certificates. So the steps for, of course, using a donated gift certificate is exactly the same. In the point of sale, you're going to choose gift/loyalty. You'll scan it in or manually type in the number that was brought back. Any remaining balance will stay on the card. And of course, if the customer had a service that was worth more than the value of the card, they still have to pay the remaining balance. So we just did a demo on that. So now, petty cash. This is a question that sometimes comes up. So we've got a salon and they want to start tracking their petty cash because sometimes they're over or under $5 or $6 every night. So they want to make sure that all of their money is accounted for. So in Shortcuts, you actually have a button that allows you to track petty cash and then return the change at the end of the night so that you're not just, guessing how much you had. So let's walk through these steps because you can actually give permission or take permission away for certain staff members. So everybody that takes petty cash is responsible for what they took. So if one person takes 10, one person takes 20, at the end of the day, these people are responsible to return any change and account for how much they actually spent, whether they spent all of it or just a little bit. Also, let's say one of your staff members or even you stopped by the beauty supply earlier today and you used your own cash out of your pocket to buy something, but you want to take the change out of the register to reimburse you for that. You also have the ability to choose expense as the reason. So then Shortcut says, okay, you just paid for something. I'm going to give you cash back from the register. So that's what the expense option is. In either case, whether you're using petty cash, whether you're using expense, Shortcuts will actually ask you, what did you buy? How much, if any, change do you have? So that this shows up on your records. This shows up on your reports. Now, before we go into accounts, let's actually do a demo on petty cash. So in this case, point of sale. If my staff had permission to use petty cash, they would go to the More Actions button on the bottom left corner. If you're using an older version of Shortcuts, you're probably familiar with the No Sale button, which has these options. So in this case, we're going to go to More Actions. And Shortcut says, okay, what are you going to do? I'm going to take some petty cash. So I'm going to do a coffee run. I'm going to take $20 out and I'm going to buy coffee for the staff. Well, all of 2 or 3 cups because coffee is expensive. So I run across the street and I'm going to come back later that day and account for the money that I took. So it doesn't have to be resolved right away, but you want to make sure any petty cash that was taken that day is resolved before you perform your end of day. Otherwise, Shortcuts is going to recognize there's an outstanding amount and your register count is off. So in this case, I run across the street, I get some coffees, and I come back. So I will press the More Actions button, and now I have an option to return petty cash. So I will press Return Petty Cash. Shortcuts right now says, okay, somebody took $20, the employee is unknown. I'm practicing without security turned on. Normally it has the name of the staff member. So you can actually see a list of everybody that took petty cash that day. In this case, just one person. I'll press Done. And Shortcut says, okay, what did you use your petty cash on? So I have a list of things. You can actually customize this list. And maybe you only allow the staff to use it for 2 things. They're either using professional or buying professional products or something else. In this case, client refreshments is what I'll choose. And I will press Add. And Shortcuts is going to ask me, how much did I just spend on refreshments? I actually spent $12. So I didn't use all $20. I only used $12. Shortcuts is going to ask me, did I buy anything else with my petty cash money? And I'll say no, just some refreshments. When I press Done, Shortcuts is going to ask me to return $8 back to the register. So I will press finish sale. The register will pop open. Shortcuts will remind me to deposit any change and, of course, deposit a receipt so I have an accounting for that. So this will actually make the adjustments so when I do my count tonight, when I close out the register, it will remember I actually took $12 out for an expense. And yes, this does show up in your transaction history. Who was the employee and what was the expense and what was the reason. So again, come tax time, you have an accounting of any petty cash that you had used. The other way you can use petty cash, again, is if you spend your own money on the way to work and then you want to get cash back from the register, from the pull down menu, you have the ability to go to hashtag expense. And Shortcuts will say, okay, what did you just buy? Well, I stopped by the beauty supply. I got some professional products. I spent $50. Did I buy anything else? Nope, that's it. So when I hit finish sale, again, the register will pop open. I will take my 50 and I will deposit a receipt. So that is working with petty cash. So now the big one, working with accounts. So if your business is taking deposits, or if you've thought about taking deposits for certain services, especially when you're doing extension services, maybe the customer has to put $400 or $500 down, not including the service, just to purchase the extensions, then you might want to start using accounts. So it's similar to selling a gift certificate or another sundry. You're going to choose account. You're going to select business as the person that is accepting this transaction. You're going to enter the amount of the deposit, and the customer will pay with their preferred payment type, whether it's cash or credit. And then you'll press finish sale. So what Shortcuts will do is it will track that a certain customer has money in their account that they either owe or they have with you. So that if they've left a deposit, you know how much it is. And if they owe money, Shortcuts knows how much it is. Now, once the customer leaves money in their account, it will actually show up green, sort of green in their ledger that they have this amount in their profile. So in the point of sale, when you press other, you have an account option. And Shortcuts will say, okay, how much are they taking out of their account? Are they taking the whole value out of their account? Are they taking a partial value out of their account? And any remaining balance is shown on the client's ledger. So it will say, do they still have any money or are they in the red? Do they owe you money now? So that is where debt comes in. So again, the scenario, you have one of your regular customers and unfortunately they left their wallet at home. So you of course know who they are. So you're like, okay, well the next time you come in, you'll pay for your visit. Instead of leaving money in their account, they owe money in their account. So in the point of sale, you would still choose the account button. You would put in the amount that they owe you and you would end the sale. So Shortcuts will record for today, this customer forgot their money, they owe you this amount. And it's actually going to show in red on the client profile how much their balance is, how much they owe you. The next time they come in, you can actually bring up the client card and pay back the money that they owe you. So let's actually walk through this. Again, for any businesses that have considered using accounts to take a deposit, just follow along if you haven't used this in a while. So you're going to go to Setup, Configuration. And again, if you haven't used this in the past or you've disabled this in the past, this is built into every version of Shortcuts. So really you just have to turn this feature back on again. So we're going to go to Setup Configuration. On the left side of the screen, we're under the Sales button. The first thing we'll do is we're going to allow customers to have an account or to pay off an account. So that is an option on the first column on this window, Allow Payoff of Accounts. You want to make sure this is checked. The second thing is payment types. You want to make sure account shows up on your list of payment types. If it is not on your list, then you want to tell Shortcuts, show me the inactive ones, display inactive, and bring it back. So you'll choose account, and on the right side, you'll make it active again. So with those two things, Shortcuts now knows, okay, customers can pay a deposit or they can owe you money in their account. So you'll save it. And of course, it's always best to restart Shortcuts if you had this disabled previously. But I will just press OK. So what happens when a customer comes in? So we'll actually walk through that. So somebody is about to check out. Okay, so this customer is about to pay for their service, but they want to come in a few weeks for a color service or for something else. Maybe they have a bridal party that they want to leave a deposit for, whatever the case is. I'm going to choose a blank row, and I will choose business as the employee that's doing this transaction. So what is this customer getting? This customer is using account. They want to leave a deposit. Okay, how much are you going to put down? So in a few weeks, he's getting married, and he's going to have his best man come in, and they're going to get haircuts. They're going to make sure that they look great. So he's going to deposit $200. Okay, so this customer is going to pay for today's visit as well as leave the money in his account. So he's going to put everything on his credit card, and we'll finish the sale. So how does Shortcuts know? How does Shortcuts show you? How does Shortcuts show the staff that this customer has money in their account? If I look up the client and I choose his name, in the middle of the screen on the client profile, it actually says account balance. So we can see this customer has $200 in credit. So when he comes in and when he wants to use that amount, we'll know the exact balance. So we'll actually do that. So the customer comes back. We're in the point of sale again. We're going to do a new sale. And this customer can use the money that they've deposited for anything, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, whether they want to buy a gift certificate. So we'll choose the customer. So he comes in, and right on the point of sale screen, again, you can see that green ledger up at the top. He has $200 in his account. That's green is money that he's deposited. So we'll say Andy did a haircut. What did he do? He did a service, royal haircut, and he's already had it recently, but that's okay. And now he wants to use money from his account. So at the bottom of the screen, I would press Other as the payment type. And I will choose Account. So Shortcut says, okay, by default, does he want to pay the entire value of his service today for this, $57.20? And he says, yeah, go ahead and take it out of my account. So I will press Done and Finish Sale. Does he want a receipt? No receipt for now. So the next time I look at his client card, it'll actually say he now only has $142.80 left in credit. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. Now, conversely, one of my customers comes in and they forget their wallet. So we'll do that. So John comes in, checking out, and sure enough, forgot his wallet, but I know Johnny's been in a million times, so I'll say, okay, well, pay next time. So at the bottom, I will jump to Other, and I will choose Account. And Shortcuts is going to say, okay, this is how much he owes you, and I will finish the sale. And no receipt for now. So how is his account different than the previous client? When I look him up, instead of having a green ledger that he has money in his account, it shows me the balance is in red, $34.22. He owes me this money. So it's in red, so the staff knows. So he runs home, he gets his wallet, he comes back. So he wants to pay his balance off his account. So I would create a new sale. I would search for the customer, and I will go to the next window. So Shortcut says, okay, well, does he want to buy a service or product or what? He wants to pay his balance. So I can see at the top of the screen, he's $34 in the red. So I will choose a blank row. Again, business is the person that gets credit for the sale. And I will choose account. And notice, Shortcuts automatically says, well, the amount that he should have in his account is $34.32 to pay off his remaining balance. So he'll say, well, go ahead and put it on my credit card and finish sale. So now in his client card, it's going to show that he does not have any money in his account. It's just going to show what his average spend is. So that is tracking accounts, setting up accounts, and of course using accounts in your point of sale. So when we mention the advanced classroom sessions, we cover a lot of ground. So we've now looked at tracking Backbar, your professional products, working with gift certificates, working with petty cash, and of course, taking a deposit, how to use accounts. So this is the part of the classroom session where we open up the floor. So if anybody has a question, so you might be writing down a bunch of notes right now, I'll give you a moment. So in your GoToWebinar toolbar, you should have a questions box. You should have a chat box. Go ahead and use that to put down your questions. And I think I've got Lynn's. Okay, so I'll give everybody a moment. All right. So while you're putting down your questions, I'm actually going to do an end of day on my computer. So I'll go back to point of sale, transactions, and let's close out the transaction. End session. There's my register. Go to the next window. Yes, I had some transactions. Oh, I forgot to put in my cash. I'll go to the previous window. It should have been 338. Okay. So I will leave 200 in the register for tomorrow. And that's that. Okay. Freddie has a question. How would you know who owes you what at any given time? Good question, Freddie. So there are reports and shortcuts that will show you what the balances are. So if we go to Tools and Reports, on the left side of the screen, we're going to go to the Clients. So actually, this is a business report, I believe. There we go. So for gift certificates, if there is a remaining balance, we can go to outstanding gift certificates, for example, find out any money that's left on the gift certificates and what their numbers are. And then for, let's see, not enough from payment, that would be for online payment. Now for customers that have an account, let me see if I remember that report. I haven't looked at that report in a bit. Checking to see if it's either business or clients. Client account statements, here we are. So under the business category, both are under business, client account statements. A report showing all account statements for those clients with outstanding accounts or who have made transactions on their account within a specified date range. So I could run it for all of 2020 if I was trying to do my taxes right now. Good question, Freddie. Thanks for reminding me. Okay. Are there any other questions with regards of the point of sale, or had you attended the previous one with regards to gift certificates and you might have some follow-up questions? Now's your chance. Now, if you're watching this recording after the fact, so you're watching this on YouTube or on our Shortcuts webpage and you think of a question, you do have the ability to reach out to us. You can let us know, message us on our webpage, message us on Instagram or Facebook. We will get back to you. We do check that. Now, if you're still running the old version of Shortcuts and you want to get upgraded to version 8.1, so you do have the ability to do that. Let us know at customer care if you want to upgrade your package or sign up for something else. Oh, Freddie had another question. Could you send an email to clients that owe monies to? Could you do that? I believe so. I'm going to get out of the presentation for a second. So Freddie always has the best questions. So in this case, if a customer has money that they owe you on the account, how would you find certain customers? How would you message them? You do have the ability to go to Tools and do a marketing query. So in this case, usually you do a query against services, against products. Let me see if I have a category. No, that's against service category. Can I restrict clients to those with outstanding amounts? Let's take a look. So Shortcuts is going through my client list and it's trying to pull up the criteria. Oh, mark. There we go. So let's see, preferred employee, club program, occupation, referred, club membership. I have all of the demographics except account, which would be useful, I suppose. But as long as I'm able to pull those account statements, I should at the very least be able to get the names of the customers. Let's take a look. In this case, I have the names of the customers, but not necessarily a short list where I can just email that using Shortcuts marketing. That might be a really good feature to pursue. I'll bring it up with our developers ready. All right, let's bring it back. Okay, so again, if you're watching this video after the fact and you have any question, go ahead and reach out to us. Or if you want to upgrade your version of Shortcuts, let us know. Reach out to our customer care team. They can connect you to our help desk and get you upgraded. Or, of course, if you want to sign up for one of our packages, for text packages, for SMS, do let us know. And any technical or education related questions, you can reach us on our Facebook, on our Instagram, and either myself or one of our other team members will get back to you. Thank you all for attending. So I look forward to seeing you on the next classroom session. Everybody have a great day.